Meeting to order. Okay.
Okay.
Because we're streaming live.
Oh. Oh.
A live mic.
We're live. As opposed to dead?
Well, I hope not.
All right.
Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'd like to call the Mayor's Committee for Persons with Disabilities to order. Could I have a roll call this morning of those present?
We have member Tyrone Starkey present,
Here.
Miss Donna Countryman, Mr. David Snodgrass, and Mr. Michael Gleason is present.
Okay. Who's taking minutes, just for my okay, I thought so, but I wanted to ask that question. All righty, has everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes from our March 16th meeting? Is there any further discussion from those minutes? Or even corrections? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
I motion that the minutes be approved.
Donna Countryman made the motion. Could I hear a second? Mr. Gleason seconded. Motion carried. Old business, follow-up reports with city newsletter. I know I got ours in our water bill, I guess, earlier in the week. And I saw on the backside, page 2 or 3 or whatever the page was, that had the article about the autism week, month, or I should say that for the month of April.
Yes, sir.
It was nicely done too. It'd been nice if it had been front page news, but it was kind of on page 3 or 4, but I certainly found it. And I thought it was well done, well put together.
Thank you.
Anything else under the city newsletter?
Just whenever the subcommittee is ready, just keep in mind that the newsletter goes out quarterly.
Right.
So it will be July when the next one goes out if we'd like to have another insert to the newsletter.
Yeah, I think that'd be good, and I know you handed out a, for the month of May anyway, but you're saying July will be the next one, and it only goes through June in terms of the different disability awareness months. Or,
Yes, sir.
However you want to call that. And that, I didn't realize when you first sent that out a couple of months ago, I was amazed at the number of awarenesses
There are a
that
lot.
are there.
Yeah.
Yes,
which
sir.
Which is really impressive.
When is it that you need the information for the newsletter, Felicia?
Our public information officer will give us a deadline, so she'll reach out to staff and give us a deadline
Okay.
of when she would need it by. So I will let the subcommittee know.
Okay.
Okay. I know Doug was talking about, last month anyway, guest speakers for the different, what I'll refer to as the civic clubs here in town. You've got Sunrise, Optimist, Rotary Club, and the Ruritan. Am I pronouncing that incorrectly?
Yes, Ruritan.
Okay. And Doug mentioned somebody was going to be doing a presentation, guest speaker, whatever. I think it was the Sunrise. Is that correct?
It was at the Sunrise Kiwanis, but last month Pastor Doug did a presentation, so he did the initial presentation.
Okay, that's right.
On behalf of the subcommittee, and then last Wednesday, a committee member, Dr. Kelly Alves, she presented on autism awareness, again, for the month of April, so she presented last Wednesday. I did attend that at 7 a.m. last Wednesday at B&G Grill. And so I did post pictures, and I have some videos that I shared on the committee's Facebook page.
Okay, good.
So that went really well.
Okay. And again, where you went to the, was it the restaurant, the one here in the downtown area?
Yes, sir, right next door.
What was the name of that again?
It's B&G Grill.
B&G, yeah.
That particular group, Sunrise Kiwanis, they have their
Okay.
monthly meetings there.
Okay. So are we needing to identify or reach out to the other civic groups for a speaker, if I'm looking at this correctly, or am I not looking at it correctly?
In past meetings, we did have some members who volunteered to reach out.
Okay,
And so that's why I have it on the agenda today for just some follow-ups
okay.
to see if we had been successful with reaching out to those other groups.
So Sunrise, we've already presented, or we've already.
We
did
have
a
done 2
presentation.
presentations so far.
And you said you did the Optimist?
No, I did the opposite.
You did the Optimist,
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
I spoke to member Mary Emma Stevens, and she said that we were welcome to come, but I haven't followed up since my surgery. I haven't followed up with her
Okay,
to see if we can get a specific date.
okay.
I'll see her tomorrow.
I don't mean to draw a blank, kind of caught me off guard when you asked
I
me to
know.
chair, which is fine. I
You're
like-
doing a great
I
job,
like
Mr. Davis.
running
Thank
my
you so
mouth.
much.
But-
You're natural.
Thank you. But the Rotary Club, is
Yes.
that who you, I'm sorry?
Yeah, I volunteered to contact them.
Okay.
There's 2 of them that are active in Goldsboro. There's a Rotary Club of Goldsboro, and that meets on Tuesdays at noon at Lane Tree Golf Club. Currently, they're only doing Zoom meetings. I've left a message and an email for them to contact me to see about who I would talk to about scheduling
Okay.
somebody to talk to them.
How long ago was it when you called, Mike?
A couple days ago.
Oh, okay,
It's-
okay.
It's recent.
Okay, good,
Uh,
good.
And then they have a walk to end polio on 4/24 at 11 a.m. at Stony Creek Park. I thought I might show up there if I don't hear from anybody by then and talk
Okay.
to somebody there. Then there's the
Mr. Michael, I'm sorry, I can't hear you that well for the if you can speak a little louder, I'm not gonna ask you to take your mask off, but
Okay.
they're having what again at Stony Creek Park?
They're having a walk to end polio at 11 o'clock at 4/24 Stony Creek Park.
Okay.
And then I also contacted the same day the Three Eagles Club, and they meet at Wayne Memorial Hospital Cafe at 7 a.m. in the morning. I didn't talk to anybody, left a message and an email for them also to contact me.
Thank you for that update.
Yes, thank you. And I always like saying I'm bad about this, but I think it's a good quality. You know, you said you made contact within the last 2 or 3 days
Yeah.
or whatever. But I'm kind of a persistent individual, because people get busy and they forget or whatever. But if you haven't maybe heard from them a week from,
Yeah, I'll
next
follow.
week,
I'll
I'd
follow
certainly
up.
rattle the chain again and just kind of see where it gets you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for your input and your efforts to reach out. The Rueton group, do we need somebody to reach there?
Miss Wanda Beckton was going to reach out,
Okay,
and she did reach out to me this morning. She had a meeting prior to this one that if she could come, that she would be a little late.
okay,
So she may be on her way, but she has that report.
okay, good.
And if she doesn't make it, we can just hold it for next time.
Sure,
Okay.
sure, okay. Are there other civic groups that we would want to reach out just to see if there's a need, or, to do a presentation on, disabilities, for additional civil group? Sounded like, Mike, you had kind of reached out to the Three Eagles, but I know there's tons of other ones out there. Or do you feel like this would
I
is
just
enough?
want to clarify, that's the Three Eagles Rotary Club.
Three Eagles?
So it is an
Rotary.
Eagles
Okay,
Club.
okay.
Are there groups on, I'm sure there are, but I just don't know, on the base? I mean, I know there's a liaison and,
There's one, I can't recall the name of it, but I was contacted by the representative of that group. They're not having in-person meetings, when she contacted me back in February. At that time, they were not meeting in person, but I will certainly email. I did add them to our list, so they are on the city's website, on the civic and groups and organizations listing. They have been added to that document. and that is available on the city's website.
Are we kind of like limited to more adult groups and civic groups, or are we gonna also contact maybe like things like Girl Scout, Boy Scouts, Boys and Girls Club, etc.?
I think that's a, a very good point, and I would not, my attitude is I don't think we should maybe restrict our presence, if you will, or who we may group out to, if it's, child, adult, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. I could try to reach out to those organizations and see, can we present? And then I also had another question. Would the committee think it would be a good idea whenever we do present to these civic groups, since we are also recognizing different awarenesses in the months, and we could kind of maybe do it like a combination type thing, like in the newsletter, let's just say for July, whatever July may be. We do the letter, and then we do a presentation at a civic group on that particular awareness also. So it's kind of like we're kind of in the presence the whole month doing something. I didn't know if we wanted to kind of look at it as a two thing as we, reach out to these organizations.
Again, I think that's, a very good point, and I'm sure, this committee would certainly entertain, that, doing that.
Yeah.
And I would just add that when we had our initial meeting, how we discussed kind of 3 platforms that we would use to disseminate information, and that would be our regular monthly meeting, Tyrone of the Mayor's Committee, and then reaching out to the civic groups to get out and be visible in the community, and the city newsletter.
Okay.
And there may have been 1 or 2 more, but we did kind of establish several platforms of how to get information out. So that's good that you brought that up.
Any other discussion in terms of civic groups? Actions we should take? If not, I'll move to new business. Agenda items, what's next for the Education Subcommittee? I guess, planning purposes.
For the month of May, Mr. David,
Okay.
which is just why, if you remember the list of the disability awarenesses, the calendar, it was so long because there's so many. So I just printed out May's to see if what we'd like to do, the subcommittee would like to do for the month of May.
There's a bunch. There's like 2.5 pages from May. That's what I mean. It's just, it's unbelievable.
And it looks like, I think we're good with the civic groups as far as them being receptive of us and allowing us to come. So I think that's great. We've established that, and we can certainly continue to do that. And then also for next month, there's our annual Disability Awareness Walk is going to be May 5th. So does the subcommittee want to do something in addition to that, maybe later on in the month? Kind of highlight an area at our regular meeting.
What's the fancy of the, Mike, Donna,
I'm sorry?
Tyrone? The suggestion that Felicia had made about state that again, what your proposal was, Felicia.
Yes, so for the month of May, would we like to, since we have the walk already scheduled for May 5th, do we want to just use that as our education for the month? Or later on in the month, would the education subcommittee like to focus on something else? Maybe a presentation at another civic group meeting? And it seems like we're pretty established with the civic group, so that may be something that we'll just kind of do continually. It sounds like, because we have some great support from those groups. Or do we want to have a guest one of these particular disabilities to come to our next mayor's committee meeting in May? I mean, do we want to do something else in addition to the walk?
I kinda like the idea of focusing on the walk. Again, that's me. I mean, I'm open to suggestions, you know, ideas. I'll take that as a motion, Felicia.
Well, again, you know, it's really possible that we'll have someone speaking at another civic group meeting for the month of May.
Sure.
Once Mr. Mike hears back and Miss Donna hears back from the Optimist Club, you know, we may get another invitation. And someone may, you know, want to still go out for the month of May. So, and that's great. Tyrone, any thoughts on that?
I'm trying to wrap my head around the different options, because you gave out so many, in my opinion, so many good options. But I think I would like just, if it was possible, maybe have someone to maybe mention maybe a little bit about one particular condition at the walk, but also we know the walk is still talking about all disabilities, but we may highlight one for and let people know that that particular month is, you know, it's just an awareness month, but there's all types of disabilities that we're recognizing for the walk, and that could be like if that person could just maybe talk for like 5 minutes, just, you know, 5-10 minutes, just say, you know, my name is Charles Starkey, I have muscular dystrophy, one of many disabilities that the walk represents, you know, and then so forth. So I would think it would be something short. It wouldn't be, I think that's what you were trying to say at one point, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just kind of asking, would that be a suggestion? I think that's a great suggestion. One of the disabilities for the month of May is Mobility Awareness Month. And Tyrone, you gave an example, but I'd like to ask you if you would volunteer to be the one to speak at our next meeting, just to kind of, as a post-walk report, something about mobility awareness. I think that'll be great.
Yeah, I have no problem. I would love to do it. Be honored to do it.
Okay. How does that sound to the subcommittee?
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Additional comments, thoughts?
I'd like to ask Miss Wanda to come up.
Welcome. Yeah, I guess we'll backtrack to the old business with the Ruritan group.
We can. Didn't want to leave Miss Wanda out. We were following up, see on the agenda with the different civic groups. Was the Ruritan the group that you were gonna? Okay.
I have not made contact with them individually, but I do have their name and number for the contact.
Okay.
So I'll be working on that this month.
Okay.
Wanda, I also have a name and number, if I don't know if it's the same one, but I'll get with you.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Miss Wanda.
I've spoken to them several times.
Okay.
And Miss Donna, thank you.
Yes, thank you. I'm David, by the way.
Hey, David, I'm Wanda.
Nice to meet you.
You as well.
Well, we backtracked. Let's spring forward. Next on the agenda is how often do we want to meet in terms of, do we want to meet monthly? Do we want to meet every other month? I'm wide open. When you're retired, you kind of I found out you can be real flexible, which is a nice feeling. What's your thoughts?
I would consider meeting monthly, only because we're starting out and we're, got this kind of let's go and do this kind of attitude and get going. And I hate to lose that if we didn't meet.
Yeah. Kind of keep the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially if we can kind of the month before plan for for the following month
Yeah.
of any particular topic that we wanted to highlight. I think that would be good.
Monthly fine.
Okay, yeah, sounds like the, Tyrone, are you good with meeting monthly?
Yes, I'm in agreement. I think, like you said, you want to keep that contact, because if you don't, it's easy to get distracted with everything else going around.
Okay. Sounds like monthly, which I think is, like I said, keep the ball rolling, keep our presence out there. I was talking a little bit, and I don't know if this is the time to bring it up, but I'll bring it up, and Felicia, stop me. It may be Thursday's group when we meet together as a whole, but I had made the comment a couple months ago about the presence of East Point here in Wayne County, and it's a little alarming to me that they don't have at least an office or a staff person available for folks to reach out to get information, to have a referral made, or do an assessment, or whatever the need or case may be. And I'm kind of curious why, because they represent not only the counties that they're in, but I know at one time Wayne County was the county that put East Point over the top to be able to form the LME back in the early, I believe it was July of 2003.
2000s, yes.
It was July of 2003, because when I went to bed that night, I was still a Wayne County mental health employee.
I
When
was-
woke
I
up
was
the
as
next
well.
morning, I was an East Point employee.
Yeah.
But where are they at in this county? And I guess where I'm going with this story, I would not have a problem reaching out to, if it's the LME director, the MCO, whatever they're called today, to see if that's an option, is bringing the presence, at least somebody to Wayne County to reach out, to be available, like I said, for referrals or whatever the need may be. They may say, well, we'll make a staff available to travel to Wayne County or whatever, which would be good. Or they may say, no, we won't do that, and they've got to come to us. And some folks may not have that luxury or the resources available to do that. So again, is that an educational need, or is that something that we could talk about at our, monthly meeting on Thursday?
I think it's both. And you and I both know, just coming from that field, that when the LMEs were established, they were spread out so wide, with a very large catchment area. And so you're right, they took away our local office and representative. I kind of miss local mental health.
And I was telling Donna, Johnston County, which is where I retired from, they stood they were the last soldier, so to speak, to remain a single county mental health center until, I don't know, probably 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago.
Oh, wow, they lasted a long time.
Now they're a part of, they're referred to as Alliance now. They're a part of the Durham, Wake, Cumberland, and Johnston County, and they probably, and as the MCOs are doing, they're getting bigger.
Right.
And sometimes bigger is not best, but I don't want to get on that soapbox.
Right.
I'm just looking at the presence of the need of Wayne County.
Locally.
and
Now
we
they
don't have that local
Right.
resource.
And we've had Venetia Hill, who's an RN. She was once the community relations specialist.
Right.
And she was very present, and she still is. She's just taking another role. And so now Brooke Mickelson, who
Right.
we've had contact with, is the community relations director. Or she's over community relations and engagement. So we have her, via email to reach out to. Venetia's still available. I've spoken with her since she's transitioned. But you're right, just having an actual person available and down the street, around the corner, was just so much better
Oh, yeah.
for the populations.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, because they do, I've always felt this way. They've always provided, I felt, a good service. And it's kind of like I said, without a presence of an individual or a group of individuals locally, stuff kind of gets lost. And I guess maybe with your blessing, or I will reach out to the contact that we've made there if it's, oh gosh, I can see her, I can't come up with her name, Venetia Hill.
Venetia, yes.
Or
Brooke.
the other lady, and again, her name's beside me, but I've got her in my computer as a contact. I'll reach out and kind of see where I get with that. I'd eventually like to get to the MCO director and be able to talk to that individual,
Right.
because they're the one that's gonna have to present that to their area board for that to happen. And I like going to the horse.
I think it would be good, but, if they would focus on each county of their catchment area.
Sure.
And to bring an office back.
Right,
Yeah, I
right.
think that would be great. So the closest one to us is Kinston.
Right, but again, they may or may not say, oh, well, we can easily come to Wayne County. And at the same time, they could always say, they've got to come, the individual needs to come to us. And again, I'm looking at the folks that don't have that luxury or those resources available to them.
And with the situation the way it is with COVID, I know personally that a lot of the care coordinators and people that are working there are working from their home,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not able to go out and visit the individuals
Yeah.
because of COVID. So hopefully some of that will be relieved with vaccine, but still, it's still an issue.
Right, right.
Well, Mr. David, I would say you're a member of the Mayor's Committee for Persons with Disabilities. I appreciate you for bringing this to our attention. It certainly falls on the lines of advocacy.
Sure.
So I would encourage you to reach
Okay.
out if that's something you're passionate about, which, I'm sure we all are. I would encourage you to reach out and
Okay.
to report back if, what you can find out.
Yeah, I'll be happy to do that. And like I said, I'll kind of start at the lower rung of the ladder.
And Venetia is still involved, even though her title's changed, she's still very
Right.
much involved, kind of who she is.
Right.
And so she can definitely direct you. She'd be more than happy to direct you down the right path throughout East Point.
Okay. I'll be happy to, and then what I'll do is when we meet in May,
It's next week. Well, okay, May.
Yeah.
You'll report back in May. That'd
Yeah.
be good. Okay.
and I'll let you, I'll give the educational committee or even our regular meeting, I'll call it, a progress report, if you will.
Okay, and we can mention it next week in that report that we'll have a follow-up.
Okay, I was
Next
under the
month.
impression that we were gonna meet, it's next Thursday.
We meet next Thursday for the regular
I've got it on
meeting.
my calendar that it's this Thursday.
It's next Thursday.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because I'd have been banging on the door downstairs.
Well, wait a minute, let me look.
And you're probably right.
It is this Thursday.
Well, there you go.
Where the monk fell. It is this
So it
Thursday.
is this Thursday?
It is this
Okay.
Thursday. So we'll
Okay.
mention it Thursday
Okay, yeah, I'll bring it up again, and then I'll report back
next month.
in May.
Okay.
Okay, great, thank you. Other comments, concerns, ideas, suggestions, what have you? Donna, you said you have an appointment?
In an hour. We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay.
Good timing.
I don't have anything else.
Tyrone?
I'm just trying, as of right now, I don't have any ideas to report.
You don't have anything else, Tyrone?
No,
Okay.
no.
Wanda?
No, and I apologize for being late, but, no, my thoughts have been with the walk right now.
Okay, yeah, you've been bit. And again, if you, just to jog my memory, that's May 5th?
May 5th, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I just want to make sure, because,
It is, and just every time we have an opportunity, I'll announce it. So we are having our annual, this year will be the 24th. Hal Plunk Disability Awareness Walk is going to be May 5th at 10 a.m. The Disabilities Subcommittee has discussed and decided on the committee at large kind of doing our own walk. So we've reached out and asked others to record themselves walking. We've chosen the color yellow as our theme for the walk. So we've agreed to meet here at City Hall at 10 o'clock that day and kind of record ourselves doing our own walk. So whichever of the committee members would like to join us, and so we'll just kind of do our own walk up and down Center Street.
Just meet out front here?
Yes, we'll meet out front here, down Center Street, back up, and that will be our walk.
Okay,
So that we can have our own video incorporated into the big video.
okay, very good. And that's May 5th, 10 a.m.
Yes, sir, at 10 o'clock a.m.
Okay, okay, good. Mike,
Nope, I'm good.
Donna?
I'm good.
If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion to,
We got two motions, all,
I'll second.
okay, and Donna second. Okay, I appreciate y'all's attendance. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. David,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you.